guess who's back? I'm vlogging again. So I took a little bit of a break from vlogging while I enjoyed the holiday weekend, a long holiday weekend with my family up at our camper. For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you might have seen a couple of live Facebook broadcasts or, you know, the occasional photo share, just as a way to, I don't know, stay in the loop, I guess, with social media. But vlogging just not really an option when I'm up there. Besides, you know, every once in a while you've got to disconnect. Mad kudos to people like Casey Neistat, who can just vlog every single day regardless of where they're at or whatever. I don't know how that dude pulls it off. But so, like I said, I'm kind of back into my normal routine, you know, the day job and all that stuff, which I just got out of. And it's Thursday, and tomorrow is a short day because of my work is on our summer hours, so I'll be out at 11:30 in the morning, and I'll be headed back up to the camper already. So, not sure how the vlogging is going to go over the next couple of days. I think it might just be myself and my two boys headed up to the camper this weekend. Not really sure if my wife is coming this weekend or not. Got a little work project I've got to do up there. I'm going to build a deck in front of our camper. But I'm going to shoot. I'm taking camera gear, of course. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't constantly thinking about what to shoot up there. And I'm thinking that going up this weekend, I'll definitely do a beach trip and spend some time on the Lake Michigan shoreline. And my thought is that maybe I'll make a evening beach trip with my boys and then catch sunset along Lake Michigan. Now, if that is the case, I need to figure out where exactly I'm going to do said sunset and beach trip. I'm thinking that it'll probably not be in Grand Haven, where I've been shooting the pier. I might, if I can get my kids to go along with this idea, I might maybe go up to near Silver Lake Sand Dunes and the Little Sable Point Lighthouse and shoot sunset up there. It's a great beach. It's not as crowded as Grand Haven would be. The sunsets there are wonderful to have. The lighthouse that's up in the dunes, up on the beach in the shot. And you might, if you follow any of the work I've done, might recognize that location as the one where I spent some time last fall with some friends and shot the Milky Way and the Aurora at that lighthouse. So I'm looking forward to possibly going back there. And the funny thing is you won't know until the next time I vlog, unless of course I can actually pull off the uploading of a vlog via my phone, because I can transfer video from the tracker that I'm shooting on now over to my phone. But man, that's a lot of data to be uploading, especially when you consider the average vlog file size. Shooting with the tracker 1080p, 60 frames a second. Average size of my vlog is somewhere between 4 and 7 gigabytes. I really couldn't do that. I'd be eating up all my data, which makes me wonder, why are we restricted on data with cell phones? I mean, come on, really? We should be past that point by now with technology. But anyways, I'm off on a tangent. So I haven't really shot anything since I've been back from up north. I'm hoping to get out and do a little bit of shooting today. Things that I did shoot when I was up north. So I suppose I should share some images of what I shot while I was up there. You know, it was a family trip. You know, it was a 4th of July weekend, holiday weekend here in the United States. So naturally, my family features predominantly in some of the photos, especially the kids, my 2 sons and my 3 nephews that were up there. So they're in the shots. And what else did I shoot? I shot some fireworks. Independence Day, 4th of July celebrations, tradition here. So I did some live composite fireworks. had my brother-in-law take me in his boat across the river from the campground where we stay to shoot the fireworks that the campground does from the opposite side of the river, so I can get reflections in them. And it also afforded me the opportunity to be facing north when I was shooting the fireworks, because I wanted to do this proof of concept shot. And I'll share that proof of concept shot right here. And what that proof of concept shot is, I wanted to see if it was possible to capture fireworks and star trails in one shot, which I knew you could. I was just wondering how it would work out, you know, how well that would come together. And I suppose, like anything else, you know, foreground is going to be important. So I've already got a place set up in my head for where I'm going to do a fireworks star trail live composite shot with a great foreground. So that'll be a little bit later on in the year. But other than that, you know, it was a typical trip up to the camper. You know, we spent a lot of time in the swimming pool and out on the boat. And I shot, you know, like I said, the kids. I did shoot fireworks. And of course, I went out and chased down birds with the 300mm f4 and had some success in capturing or photographing a bird that I've been wanting to get a decent photo of. And that's a rose-breasted grosbeak that you can see right here. And also, what else did I get? Oh, the female rose-breasted grosbeak and a baby rose-breasted grosbeak, which you can see right here. I was not expecting to see that. And what else did I see? I shot a great photo that I'm going to share here of a female Baltimore Oriole, if I'm not mistaken. But the reason I'm sharing this photo is because it was shot at ISO 1600, and there is like no noise. It is a clean, sharp file, and that was with the OMD EM1. And the reason I share that and even mention it is because that's one of the things that a lot of people tell me keeps them away from making a jump into a micro four thirds camera like the OMDs. They're afraid of noise, and like Jay Dickman, Olympus Visionary, said in a recent conversation I saw on Facebook that involved him. He said, you know, the noise within reason, you know, as far as how high you push the ISO, isn't so much of an issue with these cameras so long as you expose the scene properly, you know. And I think that's a great example of it right there. I would have no problem printing this out large format and selling that as a print to somebody. It's a phenomenally beautiful print, plenty of detail, nice and sharp. What noise you would see doesn't even look like noise. It looks more like a film grain, but it is super, super fine to the point where you'd have to be pixel peeping in order to catch it. So anyways, you know, that's just some of the stuff that I shot this past weekend. And I apologize for the big interruptions in the vlog. You know, it was a big interruption because of out of Chicago, and then it was a big interruption because of a 5-day weekend that I decided to take. And now I'm getting back into vlogging again for a day or two, and then it's back up to the camper, and then I'll vlog next week. And then next weekend I'm in Philadelphia for the weekend, co-leading a workshop with Mike Banning there. So I guess the vlog goes up and down quite a bit. You know, I guess, like I said, I don't know how people like Casey Neistat do the dailies like they do. You're pretty awesome people for pulling it off. I'm just an average guy working a 9 to 5 and shooting as often as I can and vlogging when I can. You guys take care. Thanks so much for coming along on my journeys with me. Oh, wait. So I wanted to touch base, a little bit of feedback, I guess, on the tracker. Now that I've been using it for a few weeks now, using it very heavily. So I'm trying to think of where to even start with the tracker. For one thing, battery life is astounding. I'm just floored at how long the battery lasts in this thing. Especially if you're doing like time lapses. So I ran a 4-hour plus time lapse over the weekend, and when I plugged the camera back in after I was done doing the time lapse, I just wanted to top off the battery with a charge, and the flashing indicator made me believe that we were about at half battery after 4 hours. Mike Banning today did a I thought he said it was a 3-hour time lapse maybe, and he started it when he was at half a battery. So for time lapses, battery life is ridiculous. For video, very good. I mean, I'm running like an hour's worth of video easily, no problem. Still photos, it's actually a great little still photo camera. You know, everything's obviously going to be super wide. Been having a lot of fun with that. It's not a low light monster, you know. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. With a sensor as tiny as what you would find in one of these cameras, low light is just not going to be the high point. But it's still usable. I shot at dusk with it. I ran time lapses that went from full sun all the way into nighttime. And you start to see a little degradation in video or image quality when it starts getting dark, but it's acceptable, especially for the end result. The end product is fun and great to watch, so I can deal with a little image degradation, you know, with that. It's just a fun freaking camera. So Mike Baining and I were talking about the tracker and our experiences with it so far, and we've both kind of come to the conclusion that for us, the tracker gets two primary uses. Although I have another use for it right here, what I'm doing now. But aside from the vlogging, the most use I get out of this camera is doing time lapses and doing slow motion. Being able to shoot 120 frames and 240 frames per second in 720p is awesome. And I have a lot of slow-mo footage from this past weekend. Slow-mo of fireworks, slow-mo of me playing in the pool with the kids, slow-mo of the kids jumping off the boat into the water, you name it. I mean, so much slow-motion video. And it does great video like what I'm doing now, but the slow motion is just so fun. Everything looks ridiculously fun and funny in slow motion. So yeah, getting a lot of use out of that. And you know, like I said, the time lapses, I mounted it to the front of my brother-in-law's boat as we went down river and back, getting gas. That was fun to do a time lapse of that. I've done time lapses that ran, you know, like I said, 4 hours from daylight like this all the way till dark when the fireworks started going off. Just a lot of fun with this camera. And the fact that it is a ruggedized camera makes it even better. I don't know how many times I've dropped it. My Tough is going to look like it's been getting a lot of use, because it is getting a lot of use and it's actually taking some abuse. So I was sitting inside the house with my kids. I had gotten home from work and just kind of unwinding and doing some measurements, or calculations actually, for the deck I'm going to build at our camper this weekend. And just on a whim decided to get out my phone and check the radar app to see if there was any rain coming, because we're supposed to be getting some rain soon. Well, there was a chance of it anyways. Slight chance. So anyways, long story short, got out the radar app, and sure enough, there are two storm cells, whatever, that have developed. One to my northwest, and the other one is to the southwest. Both are traveling northeast, roughly. More east than north. But, so anyways, here I am in the car. Didn't grab any of my weather sealed gear, didn't have time because it's pretty much right upon me. So I just grabbed my day bag, which is the Pen F. And I, luckily, happen to have a couple of wide lenses in the bag. So I've got the 12mm f2 and the 8mm f1.8. And I'm headed out to see an old friend. It's the barn that I love to shoot. I shoot it periodically throughout the year, and have had a lot of fun shooting it when storms roll through, if they just happen to go that way. And I'm thinking today I might luck out if I can beat the traffic and get over there. It's 4:30 right now, which you've got like the afternoon people getting out of work, and because Eaton Rapids is a small town, we just have this one main street that runs right through the center of it, and it happens to connect several towns, including the town in which I work. And yeah, so I'm hoping I can avoid some of the traffic And I don't know who's hitting me up on Messenger right now, but I'm half wondering if they're sending me a notification or mentioning that I need to look at the radar. Yeah, so that's just kind of a quick update where I'm at right now. When I get on location, which will be, you know, the barn, I'll turn the camera back on, maybe narrate a little bit or shoot time lapse as this rolls through. Man, I hope I can make it in time. I should have looked 5 minutes earlier. 5 minutes earlier would have made a humongous difference in getting into position for this. Starting to get scattering of raindrops on my car. Kind of bummed I didn't grab a more sealed kit, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. You work with what you've got, and I'm gonna kill the camera until I get to where I'm going. So like I said, no weather sealed kit, so I'm gonna have to keep the camera covered up and then pop it back out when it's time to take a shot. Let me level this camera out a little bit. There we go. Really cool cloud structure over there. Kind of sucks that I have to shoot this way, but you know, it is what it is. It's starting to get rain in here. I'm gonna bracket some shots really quick, just so I've got some stuff to work with here. Three shots at 2 EV each. Man, really grabbed the wrong camera for this. I didn't think I was going to be getting hit with rain, but the way this is moving, it looks like I'm getting the downdraft here. The rain shaft, sorry. Shots here. Starting to pick up. So I guess I'll just let the tracker sit out here and record this. I don't think I'm gonna stand out in the rain. At least not for very long. Actually, I might jump over to the passenger side of the car and open up the door. The rain's coming this direction, so if I open the door, I can sit in the car with the door open and still be able to get a few shots. The barn is a little further out. I don't want to walk through these crops, so I'm gonna put the 25mm f1.8 on. That'll be the longest lens I have. See what I can get with that. Okay, holy crap, I'm done. Wow. That was a lot of rain really quick. Yeesh. I may have gotten 1 or 2 photos. I don't know. There. Ah, now we can see again. Jeez Louise. The road is like flooded. Alright. And everything is soaked. That's okay. What am I going to do with you? I'm going to set you down. Hang on. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Okay. Time to go home.